Hey Aquarius, welcome to your love and romance reading for March 2022. This is going to be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Now, you might stumble upon the video outside of March, after March, that's fine. You're going to find it whenever it was time for you to hear the messages in it. Keep in mind, it's a general reading for the collective. Not every single message is going to resonate, but take what does and leave what doesn't. Also, be sure to check out the weekly videos on my channel and the daily cards where we talk about everything other than love. Okay? I don't only do love readings. There's a once a month love reading, that's what this is. And then there's weekly and daily videos where it's everything other than love. So be sure to take advantage of that as well. Let's see what's coming up here for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. First card coming up here, my darlings, is the Ten of Cups. It's a good month to be in Aquarius for love and romance. Now, I know a lot of people are used to watching tarot readings for love and romance, and so for that reason, Ten of Cups has gotten typecast, right? Ten of Cups is marriage and babies, and that might be the case for some of you. Some of you may be manifesting marriage and babies. If you're currently already living with someone or married, there could be a lot of happiness coming into the home. Maybe there is talk of planning a family, or discovering that there's a little one on the way, or you might be receiving word that you've been approved to adopt or something, or you might be putting into adopt or expanding the family or going and getting some fur babies or something. There can definitely be that sense for some of you. However, keep in mind the deeper actual root meaning of Ten of Cups is inner peace and blissfulness and contentment and happiness in every area of your life. So basically, Ten of Cups is happily ever after. And marriage and babies is not everybody's happily ever after. Some people did that, they're done with it. They want love, but they're not in that marriage and babies phase. Or they want companionship, or they want someone that they're going to travel with, or they want to have a real sincere connection with a person, but maybe they're not comfortable with sharing their space with someone, right? We're all kind of different. So whatever your happily ever after is, that's what Ten of Cups is saying is coming your way. Your happily ever after in terms of love or romance, what your ideal situation is. Some of you were chasing or trying to manifest what you've been told you're supposed to want, and you may be having an epiphany in March where you're like, wait a minute, you know what? This is the ideal kind of love relationship for me. This is what I want. This is going to be the perfect partner, the perfect arrangement, the perfect relationship. Some of you are having a realization or an epiphany of what your Ten of Cups is. And your Ten of Cups may be very different from what you've been conditioned to try to manifest or to call into your life. But there's happiness and blissfulness for every single one of you here. Some of you may be visiting or attending to see someone's baby, to see someone's child. Maybe a good friend of yours had a child, or one of your siblings, or one of your children maybe had a child. So it could be like a relative, somebody related to you, or a friend. I feel some of you are kind of going out of your way to go see this child, and you might feel kind of annoyed about going. Not that you don't want to see the baby, but something about the process might be a bit of an inconvenience for you. But there may be a group of people gathering together to celebrate the birth of this child, and I feel some of you are meeting a significant other, a significant soulmate in this gathering, something around the child. Maybe it's a birthday or a baby shower or the celebration of a birth or something. But I feel some of you are like kind of going like, oh gosh, this is going to be such a hassle to get there, and it's really inconvenient timing. But I feel that once you're there, you're going to be glad that you went, because for some of you, I feel you're meeting a very special person at some kind of gathering for a baby or celebration of a baby. The next card that's coming up here for Aquarius is the Death card. Maybe for some of you, this person could be a Scorpio, okay? If you have a Scorpio placement, there can be big changes or big shifts happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses that's leading to progress in your love life or meeting a significant person. Now, the Death card represents Scorpio, and Scorpio is known as the Phoenix rising of the zodiac. So the Death card, it's about something ending, but something new emerging out of it, and something better, okay? When the Phoenix bird emerges from the ashes, it's coming back indestructible, right? It's coming back beautiful, magnificent, powerful, indestructible. So whatever is ending, something new life is coming out of it. Some new beginning, which is positive, is coming out of it. So the Death card tells us of a permanent ending. If you have been going back and forth with somebody for a long time, this is it. It's ending for good. You're getting out of that cycle. If you have been single for a long time or blocked, this is it. That time of your life is permanently over. This previous phase of stagnation, of old energy, is done once and for all. So some of you have been saying, I want my forever person. And the Death card is saying, okay, your forever person is coming in. Your time of singleness, or your time of karmic lessons, or your time of indecisiveness, or your time of not loving yourself, or your time of not being ready, whatever it is done once and for all. That chapter of your life is forever closed, and this is a permanent change. This is a forever change, and there will be no returning to the past. Okay? Wow. I just got chills. I heard one phase ends, a new phase begins. Some are gathering to celebrate new life. Some are gathering to see, to celebrate a life that has been, a long life that has been lived, and to say goodbye. So some are saying hello, some are saying goodbye. So what I'm getting from this, some of you may be meeting a significant other, going to travel or going to celebrate the birth of a child. Some of you will be attending a funeral. Some of you will be going to pay your respects at a funeral, and you may be meeting a significant other at a funeral. That's interesting, Aquarius. I've been reading a long time, and I've never gotten that message ever. That's really interesting. You'll have to come back and let me know, for those of you that end up having this experience or these experiences. But some of you are showing up to celebrate life and meeting someone that's going into your forever, and some of you are showing up to say goodbye to someone, to pay respects, and you're meeting someone who's going to be a part of your forever, or your life partner kind of energy. Very interesting. Now, the next card coming up here for Aquarius is the Sun card. Now we have major arcana cards coming in back to back. When we have major arcana cards coming in back to back, this is a big change. This is a big shift. These are really big things happening in a very short period of time. And when I have major arcana cards coming up between two people, it tells me there's been a lot of past lives together, and you all have an agreement that you were going to meet in this lifetime for a specific reason. Now, the Death card tells us this is a forever change, that you're never going back to the old way, you're never going back to the old energy, or the old way of doing things, or the old cycles. The Sun card is a card of freedom. It's a card of true love. And it's a card that talks to us about not only true love, but that this is love that is the opposite of codependent relationships. When we have the Sun card between two people, this is the kind of relationship where both of you celebrate each other. Your inner children love to come together. There's a playfulness. You guys can be big, goofy, silly kids together, as well as adults and partners and spouses and lovers, right? But there's that playful aspect as well with the inner child. And this is the kind of relationship where there's nothing but trust. There's no suspicion. There's no jealousy. Both of you are happy to see the other one shine. You're proud of your person. Yeah, look at my baby. That's my baby there. You don't try to hide each other away in the shadows because you're insecure and you're scared that if your partner is getting attention, somebody else is going to come in and swoop them up and steal them away. And maybe Aquarius, maybe for some of you, that has been your biggest challenge. Maybe you felt in love life that you've had to play small so that your partner doesn't feel intimidated, or your partner doesn't feel scared that you're going to meet somebody else and run off with somebody else, right? This is someone who celebrates your accomplishments, who encourages you to keep going, who's super proud of you when they see you shining and getting recognition and attention, and you're going to feel the same way about them. There's freedom here, but there's commitment. You're committed to each other, but because of the trust, both of you are free to be yourselves and to live your life, and neither one is going anywhere because both of you want this relationship and want to be together. There's an element of travel as well with the Sun card. And as I said, it's true love. So remember how I talked about some of you are having an epiphany about what your 10 of Cups is? A part of that epiphany for some of you is you're figuring out what true love is for you. And because it's a major arcana card, major arcana cards come up when the situation that we're dealing with is directly connected to the things we came here to accomplish, the things we came here to learn, the things we came here to succeed at. And as I said, there's an element of true love, and some of you figuring out what true love means for you, because it's going to be different for different people. We all see the world differently. We all have different ideologies. What might be my ideal relationship might be your worst nightmare for you, and vice versa. Maybe you might come and tell me, oh, this is my dream relationship, and I might hear that and go, oh gosh, well, I'm happy for Aquarius, but whoo, that would drive me nuts. I don't want that kind of relationship, right? It's different for different ones of us. And some of you Aquarius are watching this video feeling very torn, and maybe you even feel like you're coming across this video at a very weak moment, or what you think is a weak moment. But the Sun card is telling you this is not a weak moment, okay? So let me explain what I mean. Maybe you've been like, and you guys know, those of you who are my regular followers and you've been with me since the beginning, you know that I always say I'm not a love psychic. I'll do love readings, but I don't specialize in love and romance. It's not like my expertise per se. And I like to focus on your journey and your healing because that's what's interesting to me. And so sometimes people hear that and they think, oh, well, the only thing that really matters is spirituality, and spirituality is more important, and love isn't important, so I shouldn't focus on love, and I should only focus on spirituality. And that's not what I mean, because love is a part of the human experience, and you're a spiritual being here to have a human experience, to learn about the human experience. And so some of you now are beginning to feel this longing for love. Like you're longing for it. You're longing for connection. You're longing specifically for true love. And for some of you, it's bothering you. You're like, why am I being so weak? Or why am I being so needy? Or why am I wanting something that doesn't matter or that's not important? And that's not the case. The Sun card is telling you it is important. The Sun card is telling you it does matter. And the reason why you're feeling this longing for it, you're programmed. One of your lessons in this life is to figure out what true love is for you. And to know that you're worthy of it and that you deserve it and to experience it. It's a part of your journey. So no, I don't focus on love and romance because all these other things are very important, and I like to help people in ways that I feel come more naturally to me. But that doesn't mean that love doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that love isn't important. And yes, there are some of us here in this life that one of our lessons or one of our assignments is to experience true love. And so some of you are feeling a very intense longing for it, and you're judging yourself for it. And Spirit is saying, stop. Stop judging yourself for it. This isn't weakness. This is a part of your journey. Okay? So don't see it as a weakness. It's not a weakness. Your next card coming up here is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands, as I said, some of you are struggling with this longing. You have this internal struggle like, I shouldn't be thinking about love. I shouldn't be wanting love. I shouldn't be having this longing. And you're feeling very torn. You're feeling very conflicted. There's this inner struggle. Spirit is saying, release the struggle. Accept your desire for it. Know and understand that the desire that you're having for it is a natural desire. And that desire isn't necessarily a bad thing because it helps us to manifest. It helps us to call things in. So release the struggle. Also, Aquarius, it's time for you to get serious and ask yourself, what is my heart wanting? What is my heart desiring in terms of my Ten of Cups, in terms of my happily ever after, in terms of my happy relationship? What is my heart desiring? And what are some things about the way I'm living my life that are opposite of that? What are some things about the way I'm living my life that contradict what my heart is calling for? Okay? So like, for example, if you're someone who wants a man as a partner. You want a male. You want a male as a partner. But you work in a place, in a job, or in a field where there's no men. It's all women. And then in your free time, you go to like women's professional meetups and an all women's gym and workshops for women in business, and everything is around women. That might be one example of something that maybe you can change a little bit to open the door to allow masculine energy into your life. You know, maybe you don't have to go to an all women's gym, or maybe you can go to meetups or workshops or classes that are not only for women, that also include men. Okay, I'm just giving a quick little example here. Or if you're telling yourself you're really longing for love, but when you're talking to your friends or your family, you're talking all big. I don't need a partner. I don't need love. I'm independent. I'm complete how I am. I have everything that I want. And you're talking all big. And with your words, you're pushing it away. Right? Like, these are some examples of some things you might be doing that are contradicting what your heart is calling for or what your heart is longing for. So you have to ask yourself, what are some things that I can do in my life and the way that I'm living my life that are aligning with the desire of my heart? The next card that's coming up here for Aquarius is the Nine of Swords. And this is the negative ego. You guys are on the shift for a massive change. A permanent change. A forever person. And I've said this in the weekly forecasts. Negative ego hates change. Despises change. Even when the change is a happy change. And the bigger the changes that you're about to make, and the closer you are to that change coming in, the meaner, the louder, the more intense the negative ego becomes. It's never going to happen for you. Give up. Right? You're not good enough. You're not special enough. You're too young. You're too old. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're too tall. You're too short. You're too educated, too successful. You're not educated enough. You're not successful enough. You don't have anything to offer. You know, like the negative ego comes in really mean. Really, really mean. So be mindful of your thoughts and know and understand that the negative ego is being really mean to you because you're so close to this really big, huge change. You have to be aware and catch yourself when you're having these thoughts so that you can turn it around and you can say, oh, this is my negative ego. Mind over matter. I'm not gonna allow the negative ego to conquer. You can ask Archangel Jophiel to help you and to help you to have more positive thoughts, to see yourself and love yourself how heaven sees you and loves you, to see others and love them the way heaven sees them and loves them. You can ask Archangel Michael to clear away all negativity, to fill your heart with light and courage, and to remove fear. Okay, these are things that you can do to keep yourself grounded and keep this negativity out of your head and out of your heart. Some of you are going to be really tempted to sabotage this relationship and to push it away. Or you have these fears and these insecurities like, what if I end up trapped with this person? What if I end up stuck with this person? What if this person is fooling me or pretending to be one way, but then I'm going to live with them or get married to them and they're going to change and be somebody else? Okay, ask yourself, what are some things that I can do to have a safety net? Maybe that might happen, right? Maybe that might happen. That happened to me when I was younger. Woo! I married the best guy in the world, but shortly after we were married, he turned out to be a monster. I was very young at the time, and sometimes things like that happen. And I'm not telling you it's going to happen for you, Aquarius. I'm not telling you that, oh, you better do this because this person is going to switch on you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you're going to have that fear, some of you. What if this person switches on me? What if this person changes? What if everything is great and then they start cheating on me or something? We don't want to give the fear power by trying to push it down. Sometimes we take away the power of the fear by acknowledging it. Okay, I have this fear. It's a logical fear. It's reasonable. It's possible. It could happen. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen, right? That doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but it could happen. All right, so here's my fear. What is something that I can do to be a step ahead? What is something that I can do to have a safety net in case this fear comes true? Maybe you're going to have a separate bank account and you're going to have your own income. And that way, if you want to leave, it won't be hard for you to leave, right? Like, that's just one example. You can ask yourself, what are some things that I can do that I can feel more secure about giving this relationship a chance, about letting this person into my life? Nine of Swords says, don't focus on the fears so much to where now you're calling it in or you're manifesting it. Acknowledge the fear and ask yourself, okay, how might I be ready for that fear? How might I be a step ahead of that fear? And switch it up like that. And instead of sabotaging yourself or pushing somebody away or missing out on this golden opportunity because of fear. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign. Sometimes that might resonate more for you than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you click on the link in the description of this video, calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Don't forget to check out the weekly forecasts and the daily messages where we talk about everything other than love and romance. That might be helpful for some of you as well. I hope you have a wonderful March. I hope to see you all in the comments and the weeklies and the dailies. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I'm wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful month. Take care and be well, my dears.